Welcome into Extra Time. Steve Nicol and Detective Craig Burley is with us because there was a little bit of a dispute as to who you fancy to win the Premier League title, Stephen. Because you said on the show last week Manchester City, but Detective Inspector Craig Burley found...
Yeah, but he never told me what the date was.
A video of you saying that you fancied Liverpool to win the title.
So the important thing is the date.
Right.
And when I said it to Mr. Martin Donaldson.
Right.
And I said it because Vincent Kompany had just left Manchester City. So it must have been right at the end of the season, and I said that could be the point difference.
Well, Vincent Kompany still left Manchester City?
We're not allowed to change your mind, are we?
No, that's it.
So there you go.
No, but
I did say it.
Right.
But it slipped my mind.
You did say it, and it's on a touchscreen. It says Liverpool.
It slipped my mind.
Is the Premier League, or any other of the top leagues for that matter, worth watching when it's £500 million team versus minnows? Surely there'll be a time when viewers get bored of these types of games and just want to watch elite versus elite.
Well, you watch, for example, today, wherever you are in the world, and you're a Liverpool fan, you're watching your team. And Liverpool, like a lot of the clubs, but Liverpool predominantly over the years, and he knows this better than me, even before the Premier League exploded into what it is today, Liverpool they used to go to South Africa and everything. They were always a big draw.
Yep.
So the answer is they would prefer to see bigger games all the time, but they want to, the neutral, yes, but Liverpool fans, for example, want to support the team no matter who they're playing.
Problem for football, though, isn't it, in Europe? If this is going to be the trend, City, Liverpool, Juventus, PSG, Barca, Real Madrid, kind of everything is pointing to the fact that we could have a Super League, or at least then you've got competitive matches week in, week out.
Well, we did have Leicester a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but that was an anomaly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've been kind of saying this for a long, long time. No, it kind of feels as though it's creeping closer and closer, but I still think it's still a long way off. I would agree that, I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan, no surprise there. I was a little bored.
The second half was terrible, it's just boring.
Yeah, I actually caught myself facing the screen, but I couldn't remember I'd watched. So there was actually nothing going on.
It's normal.
Which is not unusual, I guess. But I did get a little bored.
It's not a normal day, nothing going on.
Nothing going on.
Nothing to see here.
Stevie, are you regretting your comments about Origi? We talked about this on the show, obviously.
No, not at all. No, listen, the truth of the matter is, if you're relying on Origi to play week in, week out, you're not going to win the Premier League title and you're not going to be able to compete with Manchester City. It's pretty
very
simple.
Controversial these days, Stephen.
Do you know what? In the show, I asked the question, right? And I've been thinking about it. Does he get a game for City? No. Arsenal? No. I mean, how far down before he actually gets a game regularly for somebody in the Premier League?
I don't think that's the argument, is it? The argument is that he's a squad player.
He's a squad player, correct. Right. I just want Liverpool to have better squad players than him.
How prepared are you come the first game of the season mentally and physically?
What, as a pundit?
No, as a player. As a pundit.
Not for this.
Stevie's watching the screen and there's nothing going on.
Physically, and it's only my opinion, physically, I never felt up to speed until I'd played in the Premier League for minimum 3 games.
Right.
Maybe 3 or 4 games. Because pre-season just can't replicate when the whistle goes and the real thing happens. Because the game just gets faster. I don't know about you, but it always took me a few games to get up to speed.
See, here's a good thing. I think pretty much we're all the same. We all think that way because we're never sure whether we're 100%. We kind of know that we're not 100%, but you're wondering how close you are.
Okay.
But the good thing is, the other team's thinking that as well, but we've got better players than them. So you're actually ahead of the game as far as your opposition are concerned as well.
Mentally, were you a little slower?
Well, you're looking at him. I tell you what, is the eye-opener is the first game of pre-season. No matter who it's against. You're usually playing against a smaller club.
Right.
You're going to a small, and they're going to. It's a nightmare. We used to, when I was at Chelsea in the early days, in the later days we went abroad, but in the early days we didn't, and we always had to go to like Southend and Gillingham.
And they're up for it, obviously, because they're playing against a big team.
Oh boy, they're up for it.
Yeah.
And back in those days, I don't know what those leagues are like now, the lower leagues, but they were all like big brutes, 6'2", and they're going, oh my God, they're going to kick. But it was an eye-opener because you got on the field and the whistle went, and you couldn't get your breath.
Right.
Because we didn't do what the guys do now. We took 6 weeks, it used to be 6 or 7 weeks, took 6 or 7 weeks off, done.
Right.
No fitness,
Yeah.
no nutrition, off. So you went all the way down and you come all the way back up.
We used to go to Scandinavia all the time. And of course the Scandinavians play through the summer.
Yeah.
But as much as you know that, you're playing against a second division Scandinavian side. It's either your first or second game, and you get beat, and you're like, oh, damn. I mean, it's a real kick up the backside.
I bet.
But then when you're a younger player and you listen to Ronnie Moran and Roy Evans going, all right, don't worry about it too much, and you're like, hey, because they've seen it 1,000 times before, you know. Whereas you, as a young player, you haven't. But it's a real kick up the backside.
You'd have loved pre-season. You might. It's horrible.
I can only imagine how horrible it is.
Awful.
Especially as you say, if you just completely do nothing for 7 weeks and then you're going back.
Which is what happened even to the, I would say that probably stopped somewhere in the late 90s, early 2000s. Up until then it was complete break. That's what you did. Some players would go and have a little run, trot, but most of us...
Yeah.
Not.
I think we can imagine what you did. For Stevie, why were Inter and Juve so keen on signing Lukaku?
I don't understand the Juve one to the point of where I'm not sure I actually believe it, because I just don't see how he fits in there. You know, he has to be the main striker that plays through the middle, and he'll do that at Inter, and they'll play a counter-attacking style of football, which is absolutely 100% up his street. So the
United did well to get 90 million for him, didn't they?
Yeah, but because Inter made it clear, and Conte made it clear when he was saying, I don't want to talk about him, and he kept talking about him, that's who he wanted. So, you know, from a business standpoint, if you're Edward Wood, you know they want them.
Yep.
And they have to get it done. But
you play hardball.
So you play hardball.
Icardi didn't go, did he?
Nope.
They've still got time though, haven't they? In
Of course.
The European window.
I keep thinking England. They can do.
Craig, we know Stevie's favourite food is shepherd's pie. What is yours?
Pizza.
Yeah? What
Not
toppings?
pineapple.
Thin crust, I imagine, not...
Yeah, not the big
Not
doughy.
deep pan.
No, thin crust, spicy. Pepperoni, bacon, spicy.
Where do you stand on pizza? Do you eat it?
I don't stand on pizza. I eat it.
Right.
Oh, you asked the question.
Yes.
See, that's two. Two at the last 3 questions, he's made a mess and tried to blame us. You notice that?
I don't think, where do you stand on pizza as a...
I don't stand on pizza, I just told you.
I would say Italian. Italian's my favourite.
Thin slice, sausage, all right?
Thin slice?
Thin slice.
Yep.
Thin slice pizza with sausage on it. That's about right, isn't it?
With a big fat sausage on it.
Shepherd's pie on the top.
I want the sausage bigger than the thin.
Mince. I want minced beef on it.
And final question, when is Steve Nicol's book going to be available on Audible? Isn't there a Studio ESPN FC that you can use?
I don't know.
That's great,
I think all
Stevie.
questions should go to Mark Donaldson.
Oh, no, Steve, are you reading your own book?
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. No, don't hold your breath.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Donaldson could voice over it.
Aye.
Love that.
He would, wouldn't he? And then I suppose he could alert one of the Scottish newspapers.
The Daily Record.
That he's done that, and somehow another story just sort of floats in there, unbeknown to you.
That's it then, we're done. We're back tomorrow. Are you off tomorrow?
Got that in one song.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.